Today's Latin word is ad infinitum and its related ad nauseam. You know, the first time I heard this word when I was in the third year of my law program. One of the students always kept complaining about the weather, and my friend here, my benchmate, he got up and said, "She's always complaining. I'm tired." And our professor said, "You're repeating yourself, son. You can simply say, she has been complaining ad nauseum." And then he went on to explain the difference between ad nauseum and ad infinitum. That was great. That was an eye-opener. It was the first time I heard these two phrases. Make them a part of your own personal vocabulary. Whether you're a lawyer or not is not the point here. The point is, are you able to express yourself more precisely, more forcefully, and more interestingly, so that people can remember you, can actually listen to you in the first place? Then they will listen to your content, and maybe you could get them to agree to you as well. But that's a third stage. So what is ad infinitum? We look at its pronunciation actually first, then its meaning, how it's used in the legal cases, and generally as well outside law. 4 things. So watch this video right till the end. It'll definitely improve your English speaking skills and your law skills as well. Not learning the law, but the expressing bit. So ad infinitum pronunciation, you stress on fi. Ad infinitum. Ad nauseam, no. What does it mean? They mean almost same. Ad infinitum means to go on and on and on and on without rest. But ad nauseam also means going on and on and on and on, but you are tired of it. You want to throw up. You are nauseating. Oh, ad nauseam. Incidentally, I've also heard people say ad nauseam. It's not ad nauseam. It's ad nauseam. Z. Right. Now let's see some legal uses of this. Any counterclaim must be circumscribed by the law of limitation and cannot be raised ad infinitum at the sweet will and wish of the defendant. Ad infinitum cannot be raised ad infinitum at the sweet will and wish of the defendant. So I'll decide, all right, I'll raise the matter today. All right, now I'll wait for another 6 months. All right, let me raise the matter today. That's my sweet will. You can't keep on doing that. That's what the law says. Here's another one. Civil proceedings can be prolonged ad infinitum, causing grave injustice to one of the parties. In India, civil cases have been known to have lasted more than 100 years. Here's another one. If the prosecution fails to get the report, the petitioner cannot be detained as an under trial ad infinitum. So this is what the prosecution does. Okay, we haven't got the report. Hold him there. We haven't got the report. Hold him there. No, you can't do that. He's got his own rights. If you can't prove your case, hey, that's your fault, not his. Let's look at another one. There's no requirement that the university has to retain the qualification ad infinitum. Because earlier advertisements did not attract qualified candidates, the university was bound to change the qualifications. This was a case of, I think, the Indraprastha University. Now let's look at some general expressions of ad infinitum, how we can use it in our everyday life outside the courtroom. Here's the first one. This point has been discussed ad infinitum in our team meetings, and repeating it would be ad nauseam. Can we give closure to it, please, and move on? So repeating it would be ad nauseam. I don't want to hear that once again. I'm going to throw up. So they've been discussed ad infinitum in depth. We can't go any deeper, even if we try to dig. Here's another one. We've talked about India's lifeless education system ad infinitum, but the content and methodologies remain untouched till date. That means our education system has been rubbish. We haven't been able to change it, but we've been discussing it, all right? It's a bad system. but nobody has had the guts to change it till now. Here's another one. Our boss was directionless, unreasonable, egotistic, rude, lecherous. I could go on ad infinitum. I could go on ad infinitum. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Now you say this colloquially, I could go on and on and on and on. Very simple. But if you say I could go on ad infinitum, you sound a bit more educated. Here's another one. We cannot increase our ad spend ad infinitum to get results. You guys need to be more creative. Now this is what the marketing manager would like to say to his ad team. Hey, you're asking me for money, for advertisements. No. Get your act together and I want some sales. Ads or no ads. You're spending money and not earning anything. So pull yourself up by the socks, or by your shoelaces, or by your shoestrings, as they say. Now let's look at some synonyms. Now these are not exact, synonyms. You can't put this in place of ad infinitum. But they are closely related. Let's look at some of them. To death. The supposed ill effects of the new law have been discussed to death and have been found to be unfounded. Now, this is very interesting. Found to be unfounded. Found, unfounded, different meanings. So they've been found, discovered to be unfounded, baseless. So you've discussed the so-called ill effects of these laws to death, in depth. You've actually turned the whole thing inside out. Here's another expression. They have been discussed to death and back. So they've been discussed, they went all the way to death and then came back from death, and you're still going on and on. How much more thorough can you be? Hey, these so-called ill effects are unfounded. A second one. Perpetually. The perpetual cry of intolerance has now changed to fascism. These are newspaper reports, by the way. Not my opinions. But yes, pretty good sentence. Here's another one. The perpetual failure of the past governments to reduce poverty has not gone unnoticed by the population. Here, population means the voters. Here's another one. Everlasting. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki have resulted in everlasting harm to the residents of those places and nearby areas. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the places where atom bombs were dropped for the first time. Let's look at another one. As we walked through the Thar desert, all we saw was sand stretching endlessly into the distance. Endlessly, as far as the eye can see, it was sand. So here's another expression. As far as the eye could see. We were walking through the Thar desert, and as far as the eye could see, it was just sand and sand alone, nothing else. Another one. Forevermore. Sardar Patel passed away in 1950, but his strength and determination will live in our memories forevermore. It will live in our memories forevermore. We'll always remember Sardar Patel as a man of strength and determination. Another one. Unceasingly. The petitioner has been unceasingly fighting for his rights, so this is an apt instance for re-agitating the issue. Normally, courts don't re-agitate any issue, any case, but since this person has been unceasingly fighting for his rights, in spite of all the notices that he got against him, the courts decided, all right, let's hear him out once again. Maybe he has a point that we don't see. So, yeah, use this ad nauseam, ad infinitum. Make them a part of your own personal vocabulary. Whether you're a lawyer or not is not point here. The point is, are you able to express yourself more precisely, more forcefully, and more interestingly, so that people can remember you, can actually listen to you in the first place? Then they will listen to your content, and maybe you could get them to agree to you as well. But that's a third stage. Thank you for watching this video, liking it, and subscribing to our channel. We'll see you in the next video. Until then.